I would say serendipitous chain of events where I inherited 85 hours of Chavez-related footage. Some of it had never been seen by the public, and that was all the footage around his fast. And when I saw that footage, I realized I can construct a story around that fast, a nonlinear story that had this wonderful sense of escalating conflict and suspense. So I can tell a historical story with a very new, interesting structure that borrowed from narrative filmmaking.
Around-the-clock medical watch has been ordered for Cesar Chavez, head of the United Farm Workers Union. He has been on a fast protesting the use of pesticides.
The Farm Workers Union blames pesticides used on the grapes as the cause of cancer and other health disorders such as birth defects and miscarriages.
This man refuses to eat so that all of us can continue to eat and our children continue to eat with health and well-being.
And I came at it from a very different perspective. I think I was very fortunate that I came at it as an artist first. So I saw the material that I inherited, and I looked at it, and a story emerged from it. And I decided to make that story that I saw. Now, inherent in the material of Cesar Chavez's story, and the story I saw was about Cesar Chavez's spiritual commitment to his work. He had largely been seen as a labor leader, but I think the sort of secular progressive movement has shied away from embracing people or communities of faith as as an important part of people's inspiration around morality and issues of economic justice. So I saw this story about Cesar Chavez's spiritual commitment as embodied by this 36-day fast, and embedded in that story, or I found a way to embed his life's work in a very interesting way, in a non-sort of didactic, non-textbook way. So that was my first thing, my intention, to tell an interesting story with interesting material to avoid the video textbook. And I think I had also a sort of a personal challenge too, and that was I wanted to personally sort of up the game of stories being told about people of color by people of color. These themes started emerging, and one of the important things, and I discovered this early, is that there's a generation, and probably now two and a half generations, of low-wage Latino workers, recent immigrants, who don't know who Cesar Chavez is. And I thought, whether they're farm workers, whether they're fast food workers, whether they're day laborers, I thought they would be inspired by a story, because we know from psychology that if people see somebody like them confront an obstacle, address these challenges, and overcome these obstacles, they're more likely to take risks. And if I would venture to say one step further, that if the creative team behind a film looks like the people whose lives are going to change, it's going to impact them, it's going to have an authenticity about it. In the same way that for generations, people tried to organize farm workers, they couldn't do it. The Teamsters, AFL couldn't do it. Cesar Chavez could do it because he looked like the farm workers. And so I saw an opportunity to bring Cesar Chavez's story and concretely show his organizing model around boycotts and strikes in a way that fast food workers could use a model today on how to strike.